Since I had an Arizona iced tea. I've been cutting sugar out of my diet. So this video might not be as crazy as my other worm videos, alright? No promises though. What a coincidence that we see a partial return to Io at the same time that we hear about this new voice invading the deep. Like, what a coincidence, right? Pervading through every step in the Dreadnought. I'm just gonna go out and say who I think it is, because this links to a video I made last year about the Great Quiet Thing and the Not Worm, and I really think this just might be Zol. You know, I think he might have evolved in some form, right? This is definitely some kind of return to that character, because I think it's actually a good possibility and a really great twist. One of the weakest of the worm gods, that's what Zol is. Well, he is the weakest of the worm gods, who at the end of his life called out to the Anthem Anathemy to change and become something new. Maybe even go deeper into the worm's evolution. The worm gods came from the proto-worms like Asa. So maybe Zol is going deeper, past what the worms have ever been. You know, ascending past previously known limitations. But I understand that this might be reaching for many reasons. Like I mentioned, last year I made a video about the Great Quiet Thing and how it's referenced as a not worm. The suffix not being the most interesting part of what makes that reference, because it's key information. The writers wouldn't call it a not worm if they didn't want us to think about it. If they didn't want us to think about the worm gods in some capacity. So why invoke that imagery during an episode in which we dive into a Vex archive? I mean, there's a lot of things to consider here, right? As the deeper we go into Nessus during episode Echoes, we begin to see more Taken, right? So maybe this is that new power starting to stir. We saw Taken during episode Revenant, right? With the mirror dimension and all that. And, you know, there was talk about planar travel, right? It was sort of like bleeding into like this idea of the Ascendant Realm having more layers to it than we realize. Something that recording this video, I'm realizing, hey, wait a minute, maybe this was like this creature's work in phases, you know, suddenly influencing and pushing in places where it might be able to gain more footing, more power. Like I mentioned, deeper in Expedition, we see more Taken in episode Echoes, right? We see more Taken in Echoes, and the deeper we go into Nessus, and it eventually leads us to the exotic mission Encore. And in Encore, there's that room, right? That room with the Vex portal that seemingly leads us back to Whisper of the Worm. You know, an exotic mission that came back just a few months prior to Final Shape, right? Which is, it's canon that we explore those missions yet again. What a coincidence that that portal leads us to Io once again. And where are we this season? We're back on Io. I mean, a chunk of Io, somewhere in the Ascendant Realm. But it is interesting, because the last we heard of Zol was way back then, you know, back when Io was in our system. And it's interesting, you know, so forgive me if I'm reaching, but all the connections are there. You know, it's not laid out in front of us. I mean, it is laid out in front of us, but it's not made obvious. You know, it's not obvious. It's something that you gotta dissect and you gotta pay attention to. Like I said, the connections are there. But here's an idea, right? Every time the Hive Gods gain some new level of power, their names change, right? They become something new. Zero became Zevo Wrath. Sathona became Savathun. Aurash became Aurix, and Aurix became Oryx. Why do I bring this up? Because in one of this season's lore books, Asa calls out to her siblings, the corrupted worms, and, you know, dead proto-worms and stuff. She laments Akka's death. She feels bad for the ones that are dead, all the other ones that are dead too. And, you know, she talks about Zol too. She mentions Zol, but none of them answered when she reached out. None of her siblings picked up the phone and said, hey, how's it going, sis? It's been a while. If we look at like the Hive's history, right, they don't refer to their previous forms as themselves. They basically talk about it like it's a different person. I mean, there is that one time where Oryx is like, oh, you made a version of me as I was, when he was talking to Quoria, right? But that's different. But yeah, none of them answered, and Zol wouldn't answer either. What if, much like the Hive Gods, right? What if Zol took on a new name? You know, something new. I mean, the last we heard of him was on Io, right? Which was in the Ascended Plane. And, you know, if this new voice in the darkness is coming from the Ascended Plane and reaching out from beyond, then I don't know, it could be that. I don't know. It's interesting, isn't it? So, we've already established this. The common thing among hive gods is that they evolve and change. So is this new thing some sort of like evolved creature? You know, a not worm? And it wouldn't be the first time. I mean, we're seeing locations connected through all of the episodes this season. Bits and pieces that are loosely entwined. And it wouldn't be the first time Zol takes control over a sect of Taken. I mean, again, Mars, Io, he's been able to exert his will over them, you know? And it, honestly, if you take into context his title, this is off script. If you take in context his title, right? Zol, Will of 1,000 wills. Come on, it makes sense, right? Like you can play off that name. Like maybe he does have a stronger will, but because he was associated with someone like Nacris, he wasn't allowed to grow in any way. And in Whisper, we see the aspect bosses at the end, right? And there's sort of a similar naming convention when it comes to the Court of Blade Taken. And, you know, as we know, Oryx isn't calling all of those Taken to the Dreadnought. You know, he's not the one commanding all of them. He only feels bits and pieces of control over some of these Taken. So it makes sense that maybe, right, if we consider the naming of these new Taken, the aspects of whatever, because there's a few bosses in Court of Blades that have the title aspect. It makes sense to me, but maybe in being carried by us, Zol in the form of Whisper of the Worm may have somehow, you know, still remained as not corporeal, but maybe somehow took control over a vacant throne or something. Like somewhere in some pocket of the Ascended Plane, he must have squeezed his way, because how does the worm god that we killed on Mars end up on Io, right? And how? Well, I guess it is one Vex station connected to another, right? But there's still something left there to explore, because we don't exactly know how Zol made it to Io. That doesn't just happen. So maybe he can reach into the VexNet, enter and explore different installations. It's worth considering. There's been so much talk about worms and not worms this year in Destiny that there must be something there. Just stay aware. Stay aware. Remember the whispers. Remember the Anthem Anathemy. Because this is shaking up the entire universe. And this is crazy. This is a good time to be reading some lore books in Destiny. It's, if you want, invest now. Put your stock in now. But yeah, I mean, there's a few people that we've cast into these Sea of Screams before. I mean, I don't want to throw too many names around, but you know, Nacros is also affiliated with Zol, so maybe there was some necromantic link between the two. I don't know. Even though Nacros did forsake the sword logic and the worms and the gods and stuff like that, but I don't know. It's maybe if okay, I'm my money's on Zol, right? My money is on Zol, but you know, maybe they're planning on making a story where it's like, look, Papa, it's me, Nacros. I did something. I did something good. Are you proud of me yet? I don't know. But then again, that's an even bigger reach than Zol. My money is just on Zol and the Knotworm being the same thing. And, you know, like, I don't know, like a Giga Mothra or something. But I'll end it there. And please, if you want to continue exploring what my theories are on worms and paracausality, check out this playlist of videos, because I talk about this a lot during the year, and I feel like this was just like what I said before is prelude to this. So please watch it. I don't think you'll regret it. I think there's a lot of merit to those videos, even if they aren't perfect. But anyway, thank you for watching, and I'm gonna go to sleep because my schedule is messed up. All right, played the video That's the newest video on the channel right now. I played on the stream just to, like, you know, get in the mood for what we're thinking. Because, like, I think it's gonna be pretty cool. You know, right now we gotta go to the Trial of Will Ambition located on the moon in the Shrine of Oryx. So that sounds hype. So we'll queue up for that and go there.
A threat is forming on Luna, our moon. It cannot be left to congeal from mere blight to aversion anchor. But where there is threat, hides opportunity. I shall teach another method by which you will strengthen your hold of taken power and shatter theirs. I've twist arcane threads ahead of you.
Okay, I love the alternative that they have this season for delivering, like, audio tabs and stuff instead of the holo projector. Let's, oh wait, hold on. This one, and we'll use this, because I want to get those quests done. And I think there's a machine gun thing too. Alright. Let's see. Alright, let's go. I might mute once we get inside the Shrine of Oryx, just so we can get the footage, you know? But yeah, my money has been always on, like,
Keep running.
my money has always been on, like, maybe Zol is coming back. It kind of makes sense, like, thematically. Like, come on. Looks like everyone's doing this right now. Is that what everyone uses now? Just skimmers? Does everyone use skimmers? Everyone's using the Zerf board. What is this from? Is this All-Star Vector? It's... yeah, look, it's just Zerf board. Look, even I'm using Zerf board. No free will at all. They made the coolest vehicle in the game free to acquire. Alright.
is undergoing. The offering? The Hive do not possess this power. Without Oryx or the Witness, how? I fear another's hand may carve these taken into being. I assume to seek the Taken King's blessing. The wizard's ritual has yet to complete. End it here. Reach into the unknown and prepare for it to reach back. Guardian, meet the gaze of the abyss. Steep yourself in suffocating blight. Invite the horror in. Hold it close. Vulnerable. This place. A place of offering, where the Taken submit their weakness to gain strength. There is something else here. Calling. Rabid with grief. No. Sever the bindings! Unshake this beast now, Guardian! Another foul stain scoured from Luna's ailing depths. You reap strength from their defeat. Hayat, Yet, the Taken King is absent from this clash of swords. He offers no substantiation of their ritual. Why here, then, the Dreadnought? The Taken? They are entwined, but their goals do not seem aligned. Perhaps the presence we felt here in the deep drives them. Perhaps there is more to uncover. Search the grounds. Guardian, a remnant etched into the receding deep. Draw it forth with your newfound power.
Oryx. The witness is dead. It lied to you.
We saw the Syzygy sister, and we dove to avert doom. I followed you to the...
Let me cut to the truth. The God Wave wasn't the Traveler. We were chosen for light, and the witness gave us chains. But I can break us out of this game.
Deceit is your language.
We've both been played since the beginning. Look, this is Imaru, my ghost.
Light pawn! Where is my cunning sister? She would never allow such heresy.
And what do you call what you are now, if not heresy?
Enough! Does my blade not cut? Its edge is truth. Do ties not sink my form? Our logic, gold, and violence?
You're an inanimate object, dear brother. Your blade cuts nothing.
I do not accept this. I will navigate through each manipulation from the beginning, and I will divine the truth alone.
Oryx has shown the flaw in his logic. Faith. Now doubt creeps in. He has long been a creature of singular purpose and boundless curiosity. This revelation could send him reeling, or spell doom should he align with the Witch Queen. We cannot wait for the Echo to decide which avenue to explore. We must act in the face of uncertainty. I will begin preparations and contact you when they are ready for action.
Holy shit. That's crazy. So, we just saw his reaction. So, he's gonna be split now. Do you think it could, like... Do you think Oryx could maybe see the... Like, maybe he somehow combines the logic? Where it's like, we killed him. We're of the light. Right? And... You know, if we slayed him, then maybe he would be double down on letting... On us taking his place, since we're light. But then... I don't know, I gotta think this out. I gotta think it out. And then you have the other thing where, like, you know, we go back to the Shrine of Oryx. The last time we saw it like that, like blighted, like taken, that was when Malak was around. Are we dealing with Malak? No, it can't be Malak. There's no way. But I mean, I can't think of any other reason why I mean, I understand that that's like the Shrine of Oryx, but like... The last time we had taken Blight in there was fighting Malak. You know, Blighted Chalice, all that
Long
stuff.
ago, Oryx sought the worm Akka in the Ascendant Plane, but was denied the secrets of the deep. And so, Oryx slew the worm and communed with the deep himself. In this communion, he learned the power to take. And from Akka's body, he carved this foul dreadnought. But even a dead worm dreams, Guardian.
Wait, did she just reveal that it could be Akka? Because that was my other working theory, where it just might be that, like, well, if it impacted the Dreadnought, the Echo, it might have vivified Akka. I mean, it is the only other being that we knew that could take. Let's see. While exploring the Nether, harvest the flesh of Akka component. The flesh of Akka component of the binding ritual proposed by Eris Morn. Okay. There's a worm up here. Come with me. Is this over? Oh no, there's another plate, right. They're not coming? Ah, there they are. There we go. So yeah, it's probably Akka then. Oh my god. Our mentor. Get out of here. But the implication's kind of crazy. I guess we'll find out in a few minutes what's going on. Oh, there's the last one. Let's see. So, do we just gotta keep peeling at this, or do we gotta find something? So I don't yet see what Eris told me to look for. That's not it. What is that? Is that a calcified fragment? Or whatever they're called? That's a fragment. Oh, this thing. Okay, it's this stuff. We need 2 more. Oh. Okay, so we gotta look for like the peeling parts of the... What is that? What's that thing floating? Huh? Was this always here? Okay. Okay, keeps on going that way. Okay. It goes to the cables. Is this new? I hadn't seen this one before. There's skin peeling down here, right? Or no? No, I think it's on the other side. No, this is the side we just did. Where's the one that's going to the not the mausoleum, the outside part? It's got like the balcony view. Wait, was that the side? No, this is the side. This is it. Maybe over here it's... don't see nothing. Hey, hold on. I don't want to start this one yet. Oh wait, no, that's not the encounter. Did I look at this area properly? No, it doesn't have any of the hive growth.
Hit back, killer. Run him down.
What? Okay. Yeah, I guess maybe I just have to complete this and go to the next area. That's all this encounter was here? Okay. I don't see any more growth over there because that's where we cut it out. Honestly, you can probably just leave and come back. But I'm not in a rush. Oh my god. Great tracking. I didn't know they could do that. I never seen a subjugator suspend me while I was doing a healing rift. There we go. Do-do-do. Let's go to the next area. We'll probably get more of the flesh of Akka. So yeah, it must be Akka then. Because who else could it be then? It's definitely a worm. There always has to be a strongest one in any given time of the ascended plane. And the strongest one, what if he is the ascendant plane? Maybe that's why you can't see him. Interesting enough.
Heir presumptive, I make you sharp so that you may continue my logic and uphold my law. You will take up my mantle and become me. You will remove everything that can be removed. And you will bring extinction to your enemies, as I brought extinction to mine.
Next step. Eris morn visited. Okay. Eris. Can I go to your house? Alright, I'm probably gonna mute so we can hear Eris talk. So, I'm silent. That's why. So yeah, it's probably Akka then. That was a pretty quick answer, I guess. I mean, he is the only one that could create new Taken, other than Oryx. Like, who else could it have been? Maybe with the Echo, he could make Taken that can make more Taken. Kind of like how Fickrel could make Scorn that could make new Scorn.
Do you feel that, Guardian? The writhing power within you, palpitating. Surrender yourself to the call of entropy. Let it become your blade.
You've got a lot of faith in ancient Taken energy we know nothing about.
Such is the nature of faith. A belief in our ability to subsume the primordial. Faith is curiosity, not fear.
Fear's natural. It's a warning. Respect for what this power's capable of. This is a weapon because I contain it. It's not a part of me. It's a tool.
I recognize the color of grief within you. You have yet to embrace it.
I never will. Power is control. Without control, you have nothing.
Not nothing. Potential.
So this is probably referencing that lore tab of was that the Apostate's blade? Yeah, look, because she's like, it's not this, like, Sloane imagines, what if she did this? Okay, wait, let me start back. She thinks of Eris. She thinks in her meditation of Eris. Eris who went down into the pit. Eris who came back, changed. Eris, hive enough to stand as a god of vengeance. Does Eris have such a delineation? Does Eris stay here? Does Eris say here is the hive, and here is Eris morn, and never shall the two meet? No, she cannot. Or that new hive god made chitinous from her flesh would have been someone else. So then, then she talks about it. If she took into her hands a grievous knife and said, Sloane is the weapon who holds the knife. Sloane is the knife. She is sharp, sharper, and alight with the sterile flame of Taken. It's not the same. Sloane knows it, heart deep, bone deep. She cannot put that knife down once she has taken it up. Not like Eris and the hive. What is taken is not given back. No, they cannot be the same. Yeah, see? So we're seeing that not just in the lore, but I love that they did that. That we can see it right on her face as she argues with Eris. So that's cool. Let's see what they got to say now.
Oryx seeks a path to fundament. The Witch Queen, in delivering truth, has set her brother's mind. Savathun did not expect this reaction from him. Her misstep has created a new complication. We cannot allow Oryx to escape. We must force a confrontation. With the flesh of Akka, I may do so, but the Deputy Commander's doubt. She tells me my methods are based on faith. Faith. The same flaw in Oryx's logic. I did not challenge the word. An argument here would only divide our cause further. But when it is faith in you. And when it is not, it is ambition. Binding the echo of the Navigator to my throne will require immense power and the precise application of will. Together, we possess both. Then we may discover a way to excise Oryx's foul essence. Only a being infused with Taken power may wield Willbreaker. Sloane and I will guide you to that becoming. Keep the faith, my knife. My acolyte. We must not be stymied by an adherence to order in pursuit of safety. This is the deep. This is the Taken. There is no safety.
Yo, he wants to go back to Fundament? You think he's gonna escape? Wait, what if... Oh, what if they do the... What if Xivu Arath's expansion is gonna be on Fundament? I mean, I would expect it to be Torah Battle. But, like, what if it's Fundament? I don't know. That's crazy. I gotta level this up. I have not been grinding this. As Eris prepares the ritual to bind Oryx, engage the hive forces of Xivu Arath and Savathun to distract them. Okay. Oh, so are we done with this week? Okay, I guess we're done with this week. But it was a good, that was a good, like, what? 30 minutes? It's short, but when it's good, you know? I don't need them to give me, like, 3 hours of content every week. But if you make something that's good and entertaining, like, I'm gonna like it. Let's see. What do we buy? We might end it here then. Do. I guess we'll get this. I don't know. None of these feel like game changers. Okay. What's she staring at? I'm really interested in what this is. Is this her eyes? Because, like, I feel like those would be her eyes. But, like, what about this? What is this Trinity thing? I assume that's where we're gonna see the Echo. It's probably gonna be imprisoned in there. Wait, is that a soul crystal? Is that like the crystal that Crota was in? Could we just put him in that? Is that what we're gonna do? Eh, look at that. The camera effects, it's... Since it can't project it from the view, I guess? Huh. No idea how to fix that. Okay, so it looks like we're done then. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that was a good one. I don't know. This kind of feels like it is Akka then. What could it be if not Akka? Did we get any lore books this week? That's not the books. Collections. Lore. Is this the one from this week? No, I think this was last week. Okay, well, I guess that's it. I don't think I got anything new. I'm pretty sure that wasn't from this week, that thing. I'll have to, like, look through. Need to upgrade this stuff. I still don't have all the Path of Ambition stuff. Path of Resolve. I guess I gotta play with it for a while, cause... Oh, wait. I do have it all. Wait, I only need 2 more fragments? Okay. Great. So I only need 2 more fragments then. And would that be it? Yeah, so I guess I'll do that and during the week. So thanks for watching, I guess. And good night.